And here we are for the CTWC 2024 Zone Battle Side Bracket Finals. A lot of people have been participating, and it all comes down to these two finalists. Yoshimi on the left, Arf on the right. All comes down to this: who will win? Right, both players going for freestyle stacking, knowing that the sprint will be the fastest way to charge their zones. Yoshimi continuing to downstack here. Gets the zone ready. Though no eyepiece coming in time, so that thing's gonna get cut short. Arf has a good opportunity to counter with a really substantial zone in comparison. Send a lot of garbage over to Yoshimi. But Yoshimi is sending a lot outside the zone, so only has to accept that a certain amount. Not enough to be lethal, and in phase one, absolutely manageable. We have transitioned over to phase two, though, so the zone time is going to be shorter. The garbage is going to get slightly messier, and it's going to take more lines to charge zone. So players are going to have to be a bit more wary, stack a little more cleanly on their own, and not rely on the garbage wells as much. Arf are very close to the top already. Getting a down stack going. Has a very quick zone, and Yoshimi's going to be able to deal with that no problem. Yoshimi continues the down stack. Going to continue this. Arf. Currently in zone. Yoshimi following suit. Arf finishing with 33. And Yoshimi trying to get that extra line in. Getting the nice 56 attack Ultimatris. That's going to be enough to top Arf out. Solid first round, but that is going to go to Yoshimi.
3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Round two here. Looks like both players are freestyling once again. Trying to clear as many Tetrises as quickly as possible. Going for everything here. Arf has a nice left side Tetris well. Yoshimi has to clear a few garbage lines before getting to a nice 3-6 stack. The number 3-6 referring to the separation of 3 columns of blocks and 6 columns of blocks. Arf finishing a very quick zone there, 49 in 19. And Yoshimi, very empty board, trying to get a curb tris. Unable to, has to opt for the Ultimatris, getting 56 attack in. Both players just going back and forth here, well into phase two. Fairly clean garbage overall. There's a bit of a weird mishap with Yoshimi's board. But as long as she downstacks pretty cleanly, she'll be fine. Proceeds to upstack on top of it, just pays no mind to that line for now. Gonna deal with it with this T-spin double here. With a full zone charge, there's a lot incoming. Yoshimi has to do it now. Doesn't really have much of a choice. And Arf is going to continue to apply that pressure outside of the zone. Going to try and send as many lines as possible. Or at least should be. There's a few things getting in his way, like misdrops. But overall, Yoshimi bouncing back with a curb tris. Though Arf has been sending enough garbage outside to the point where that is pretty manageable. We are now in phase 3. The garbage extremely messy. Zone time extremely short. And extremely hard to charge. This is typically where most matches will end. Other matches, this is just the mid game. Knowing these two players, it might just be the ladder. We might be here for a good amount of time. Yoshimi starting to downstack in the zone here. Having a few mishaps, clearing a few lines though overall. Sending 16 attack over to Arf, but Arf shrugs it off like it's nothing. Starts a zone with a very clean stack. Misdropping the J, however, that ruins everything. Arf very close to the top, ready to top out, but manages to get back into the groove. Counts to 4, getting that Tetris ready before clearing lines. Trying to play efficiently before downstacking. Both players about even heights on the board. J misdrop on Arf's end. Yoshimi is going to try and take advantage of this by going into the zone and sending a huge attack, but Arf is starting to downstack. No real efficient clears. Arf has to zone now, and Yoshimi has a chance to continue to apply pressure. Sending a lot of attacks here. Bit of a misdrop on the board. It's going to slow her down. She's going to try and set up the Finn, but fails. Continues to downstack. Both players about even on the board. Arf very close to the top. Getting a downstack, though. Both back to about even. Scores are neck and neck. Board states are neck and neck. This situation is very close between the two. Yoshimi enters the zone once again, starting off with a T-spin double. Getting 8 lines, 18 attack. While Arf kind of shrugs it off. Already sending garbage to deal with that ahead of time. Gonna enter zone here. Stacking really cleanly on his own. Doesn't have to rely on downstacking the garbage to get some extra lines in. Gonna send a hefty 30 attack in the zone. Yoshimi has to do a lot here. Has to rely on a half zone to deal with the rest of this. It's gonna look really tense here for Yoshimi, because that garbage queue seems to be endless currently. And once it ends, it's gonna be the end for Yoshimi as well. So Yoshimi has to just keep downstacking, keep activating zone, and keep downstacking in the zone as well. Is this going to be too much for Yoshimi to handle? No, she's assessing the situation as much as she can in the moment. Gonna have to clears enough lines to get another zone charge, gets a Tetris in. Managing to stay alive despite the circumstances. Though, Arf continues to apply the pressure. Keeps things close. That was a 5-minute, 16-second long match. But Arf tying it up 1-1. It is now turning into a 1-3. Both players back in phase 1, getting an opportunity to play nice and fast once again, without worry of dealing with a lot of cheese or a lot of precarious situations. Yoshimi setting up a T-spin single, set up for this following T-spin double, giving a nice back-to-back there. Arf starting the zone with a nice 6-3 stack. Getting a nice Ultimatrice 53 attack. Yoshimi in her own zone right now. Trying to see if she can deal with what's incoming. Uses the eyepiece. Unfortunately, I think she misread that, so it's going to get cut short. Arf currently at the advantage, applying a lot of pressure to Yoshimi. Yoshimi dealing with the garbage as best she can. Currently mitigating what Arf is sending her. And maybe a bit more. Ooh, and Arf's board not looking the greatest right now. Right. Arf starting a zone with a T-spin double. Yoshimi still outside the zone, continuing to send attacks, but enters the zone herself, using the Z-spin, keeping the stack clean as a result of her clears. Keeping the down stacks going up to 17 lines, 18. Will probably try to fish for this curb. Manages to get it with that nice flat S finish. So Arf taking it like it's nothing. Just tanking the few lines he can and then clearing out the rest with some attacks. Yoshimi's been doing a great job with the zone offensive, but Arf has been doing a great job of defending against it. Unstoppable force meets a movable object. Both players going back and forth. Yoshimi's looking a bit dicey here, but Arf's garbage certainly is much higher and a lot more of an ordeal to work. Yoshimi stacking clean on top of her garbage, just stacked constant. Arf getting the Dodecatris. See what Yoshimi can get in this zone. Timer's about to expire. She has to squeeze as many lines as she can now. 25 attack. Not going to send anything over to Arf because Arf is just putting on an offensive outside of the zone. More attacks being canceled. Arf still having the advantage. Continuing to downstack. Getting a nice solid 4 combo there in addition. Going to be sending a little bit more garbage. Yoshimi has to do a lot in order to deal with this. Yoshimi very close to the top. Things are looking mighty precarious for her. Ooh, but Arf with the T-spin misdrop compensates it by setting up another T-spin on top, but that zone is going to get interrupted hard. 24 attack. Yoshimi has a half zone. She's going to try and downstack as much as she can before doing it, trying to maximize the amount of zone charge she has before going into it. However, it's still only a half charge. Any more is going to be outside of the zone here. Gets another quarter. Lots of things going back and forth between these two. Looking very high up for you. He's still in a lot of danger. Arf continuing to apply pressure. Just constant. He could top out at any moment. Arf has a 14-line zone, 18-line zone in phase 3, 46 attack. Yoshimi has to do a lot to deal with this. She's going to have to downstack as much as she can. She's going to have to try and get as many zones as possible, but it's just not going to happen. There's way too much pressure going on during phase 3, and Arf is going to take that second point and take back the lead. Match point now, I think. I'm not sure how they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna. Looks like game kind of tabbed out on Arf. Both players just freestyle stacking, keep packed. With max zone charge. Arf with max zone charge. Both players ready to send a zone whenever. I think they're just trying to find the opportune time to do it. Yoshimi finding it there. Arf finding it here with that T-spin double. Now it's a contest to see who's more efficient. Let's see if Yoshimi can get outside of this zone fast enough to start sending some more attack to Arf. The answer seems to be no, as Arf still sends a more substantial attack than Yoshimi. Yoshimi already close to the top of her board. Get things going here. Spin doubles. Arf entering another zone here. Things up top. Gonna get that ulti with a nice 40 attack. Solid attack in phase 2. But Yoshimi with 47 gonna be able to outdo that. I mean, Arf was pretty inefficient in that zone, all things considered. That goes to show that efficiency does matter. You do want to keep track of your Tetrises and your as you do zones. Going. There's a Double in zone. Arfarf dealing with a few misdrops. There is a nice S-spin there.
Where's the long bar? Where's the long bar?
There's a T-spin.
Murder trying to drown.
Arf and Yoshimi both entering the zone at the same time. Arfarf's going to get out of it very quickly. Yoshimi using this opportunity to attack. Getting up to 17 lines. Arfarf has to use another quarter zone here, or he'll suffer the consequences. That queue is looking endless. Too much for Arfarf to handle. Arfarf keeps seeing the end of the queue, but Yoshimi keeps adding the pressure. It's going to be too much for Arfarf. Yoshimi closing the gap. Score 3-2 Arfarf, but Yoshimi once again taking another point. Goes to show that Arfarf cannot just, you know, glide his way into victory. It's going to be a very... It's going to be a very, very close game between them. Getting the down stack going. Yoshimi trying to find that curb twist, has to opt for the ulti 55 attack compared to Arfarf's 51. Arfarf sending a little bit outside the zone as well. Yoshimi keeping this going. Arf. Close behind. Arfarf very clean in terms of stacking. Yoshimi keeping things going. And Arfarf both in the zone now. Both at about 15 lines. Arfarf ending early at 16. Yoshimi up at 18. Manages to get the ulti at 53 with 53 attack. Arf still kind of just taking it all. Not dealing with anything. Arf looking very dicey right now. Very close to the top. Yoshimi has a good opportunity just send a salvo of attacks and get Arfarf out of here. But Arfarf also sending Yoshimi to the top. Both players very close to topping out. This is a very precarious situation that we've got here. Arfarf with a bit of a team misdrop. That's not a great position to misdrop right now, especially when Yoshimi's about to enter the zone and could send something substantial here. Arfarf trying to deal with the situation as calmly as possible. Manages to get the down stack, has enough for another zone. Is that going to be enough? Survey says not quite. Still has to deal with some incoming garbage. Puts Arfarf at a bit of a disadvantage, especially with that Z misdrop. Entering another zone. Arfarf has to do a lot here to stay alive. Yoshimi keeping things going.
No.
All it here. Arf has a very clean stack here. Gonna enter zone. Has already 10 lines. This is already proving to be much more efficient than most Phase 3 zones. Oh, the J misdrop cuts it short, though. That's still 38 attack. Yoshimi has a lot to deal with. No zone charge. That is going to be it. Fair enough. Still means Arfarf is on match point. Amy still needs 2 points to win, but Arfarf just needs this last one. And Arfarf is doing a great job by applying a lot of pressure here at the start. Going to down stack, continue to send a lot of things over, but going here, Arfarf in the zone, playing really efficiently, stacking up as much as possible, getting some T-spins, Tetrises, all the back-to-back moves. Cutting it short there with a nice 49 attack. That is a huge, clean well for Yoshimi as we enter phase 2. Arfarf has a little bit of garbage on his board now. Oh. Probably able to deal with it very quick. Arfarf has this really good ability to survive during phase 3 and then send a huge zone in the middle. But he's not going to be able to make it to phase 3 if that OJ misdrop gets in the way. He's going to enter zone to mitigate it, but that is also going to be a huge hampering to his damage, his attack. Going to be ending there with 32 attack. See what Yoshimi can end with. T-spin double into 17. 18, getting 19. Getting a nice 60 attack. There's a huge Q incoming for Arfarf. This is into phase 3. Arfarf starting off with a huge disadvantage. Yoshimi gonna try and apply as much pressure as she possibly can. Keeping down stacks going, however. Oh, still very close to the top. Yoshimi's not doing a lot to capitalize on the advantage that she has, sending one back-to-back Tetris, but Arfarf already at around the same height as Yoshimi is currently. There was an advantage Yoshimi had, and Arfarf is already catching up quick. And Yoshimi apply enough pressure to make Arfarf suffer a disadvantage once again. This zone may be the answer that she needs. But Arfarf is also going to enter zone, gives him enough time to deal with whatever Yoshimi may deal to him in this moment. Down stacking very clean, getting a nice 30 and 15. Enough to send some lines over to Yoshimi. Yoshimi now at the disadvantage. Arfarf turning the tables around. Arfarf continuing to apply pressure, has a nice 6-3 stack. Save that O piece, getting in the way. Getting another T-spin there. Arfarf keeping this T-spin double streak going, this nice 6-3. Gonna be entering the zone with a T-spin single. Yoshimi not able to send a lot of attack there. This is Arfarf's time to take advantage, capitalize on the situation that he has. Try and send as much attack as possible, up to 16 lines. Gonna be sending 38 attack. Yoshimi only has a quarter zone left. Does she have the room to downstack all of this? Survey says no. Arfarf officially taking it as your CTWC 2024 Zone Battle Champion. Congratulations to Arfarf. Great plays by Yoshimi, who fought a valiant second place. And that is going to wrap up the bracket after all the hiccups that we've suffered. Thank you all for sticking around. I've been Commando. Enjoy the rest of the stream, everybody. Have a good night.
Hello, hello, testing. Are we good? I am live. Okay. Yeah, so we just broadcasted the Zone Battle Finals tournament. Thanks everyone that is hanging out and watching as we wait for CTWC 2024. I am literally in the hotel next to the expo because internet is spotty in there, and I wanted to be able to stream that for Enhance. So Enhance has been sponsoring CTWC for 6 years now. So as the publisher / developer of Tetris Effect Connected. So hope you guys are all excited. It was fun seeing who you were predicting to win in the chat while you guys are waiting. And yeah, I think the opening ceremony is about to start. Maybe at 10:30. I know the broadcast is starting here in 20 minutes, so feel free to keep hanging around in the Twitch chat. And I will do my duties really quick. And of course we have, where is it? Yes, Classic Tetris, of course, is playable on Tetris Effect Connected, which is available pretty much everywhere. So I think it's a great game if you are looking to get into Classic for the first time, because it's a nice gateway if you don't want to invest in the old console and whatnot. It's on every platform. If you have like PlayStation Plus, Xbox, Switch, PC, what else are we on? Amazon Luna, MetaQuest. It is out there. You can play the game. And yeah, looking forward to CTWC. I am literally about to walk right over there and see what is going on and get my booth set up. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a good morning. And yeah, CTWC will be starting in about 15 minutes. So sayonara, and I believe they will be starting up the broadcast shortly. So stick around. Bye-bye.